Over the last 12 years or so of reviewing vehicles, we've driven every generation of the Kia Soul, and it's been one of our favorite vehicles, one we actually look forward to getting in for review. It's great size, they're fun, they're funky, they're just, you know, they got a vibe to them that has always made them enjoyable. Recently though, say the last 18 months or so, we've seen the sales numbers of them really drop off, and thought, okay, well, you know, aging vehicle, maybe, not really, but, you know, whatever. Would this new generation reverse that trend? And it really hasn't. The numbers compared to what they used to be are still off in sales for this new generation. Now, I'm not seeing a ton of marketing around it on, you know, TV and videos and wherever else, so I'm sure that's a thing as well. But given the price, it still should sell pretty well. So when we got one in for review, we're interested because I'm like, well, why isn't this selling? And I think I have the answer. So the version of the Soul we got in for review was a 2020 X-Line, so sort of mid-level trim with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine, naturally aspirated, and what Kia calls an intelligently variable transmission. I have another name for that transmission. 16-inch wheels and such, kind of, you know, standard equipment, not a lot of options in it, and it came in at $22,615. In the past, you know, at that price level, okay, that's about what it would run. I think we've driven them that had as much as like 27,000 for like a fully loaded turbo model, but this was a mid-level, kind of a lot of what people would probably look at buying. Now the X-Line means it just got some plastic cladding to make it look more like an SUV or more off-roadish, even though this thing has no business going anywhere other than maybe a dirt road. I'm going to bag on this thing, and there's just no other way about it. So let's just get that out of the way. First off, the tires, they're some kind of hand cooks. Well, picture will be rolling up in here. You can see the name. In a word, they suck. I mean, they are just not good. Now, while we had the vehicle, we had about, I don't know, 7-8 inches of snow drop, and we had some icy conditions. They got anywhere near a patch of snow or ice or anything damp, and the ABS kicked on that fast. The tires were just, they had no traction in that level. Trying to accelerate from anywhere, but combination of the tires and a grossly overactive traction control system, it made merging out of the neighborhood and onto some of the roads around here a little dicey on more than one occasion. You had to make sure you had plenty of gap because you weren't sure when the traction control was going to stop functioning and when there was actually going to be grip on the tires so that you could go somewhere. Intelligently variable transmission. This thing embodies everything that everyone hates about CVT transmissions. There was nothing intelligent about it. I caught it out of its gear range at least once a day, if not twice a day. If you're just rolling along and you need to, you get on the throttle aggressively to pass someone or get around or make a move, and it felt like it was just like, okay, I've made the move, I've pressed the gas, okay, now we're gonna rev and go somewhere. It was just brutal. Yeah, it was just a whole lot of not good. The load floor on this still has a lot of the same problem the Kia Soul has had for me personally in the past. Now again, I'm a special use case here in that I look at it like I have a big dog. We had, in the past when we've had Mastiffs, now we have an Irish Wolfhound. Okay, big dog. Doesn't fit in the vehicle. It just doesn't, he doesn't fit. With the seats up, he's too long to sit widthwise across it, and if you fold the seats down, if you go in through the rear, there's a drop of a good 3-4 inches over the lip to the floor, but then it's I measured it, it's like 14, 16 inches of floor, but then there's a step up where you fold the seats down, so there's not a flat place for him to lay down. So could not take my dog to the vet and to his playtime, daycare playtime stuff in that vehicle. So I kind of knew that going in, that it probably wouldn't be a vehicle that I could personally consider, but I still liked the car in the past, and we'll take that as a side thing. But I was hoping that would be fixed. It hasn't. The interior materials are okay. And I think that's the best word. They're okay. Everything felt last generation. I mean, this is a 2020 model year vehicle, released late last year of 2019. The interior felt very 2017. The graphics on the center infotainment system look like they haven't been updated. It was fine, but we're going to get to the crux of it is it just doesn't, where in the past it felt like pretty good value, like you're getting something for your money. It feels like they mailed it in on this one. It really does. Other little things like of all the windows, the driver's window only has auto down, it has no auto up, and none of the other windows have auto up or auto down. Reminds me of, say, my vehicle, a 2005 Honda Element. Well, we're 15 years on from that vehicle. You would think that you would have a little bit better comfort and technology in there, but not so much. There were no heated seats, which, considering that 10 years ago, $16,000 at that time Hyundai Element, no, whatever, $17,000 Hyundai at the time had heated seats for all four seats. This had none. Hyundai, Kia, sister companies, so they share a lot of the same stuff. And the stereo was average at best. And again, this is a vehicle marketed at the youth, and they're going to want to bump some tunes. And you can have tunes, you're not going to be bumping on this. It also didn't have Sirius XM. Not that I care about Sirius XM, but everything has Sirius XM. This didn't. So the fuel economy was, the fuel economy is listed at 27 city, 33 highway, and 30 combined. We got about book on it. I think we were 29, 30 combined on it. But the interesting thing is drove it. But that's it. It was there for a week. And, we put not quite 300 miles on it, and it was okay. But when they came to pick it up, it was like, please take it. No interest in keeping it. And I guess that's a bit of a bummer for this reason. Everything is a crossover these days. And okay, this was sort of a small crossover-ish vehicle, but it was funky enough that you sort of didn't care. It got around that thing for me, that okay, it's a crossover, but kind of tall cube. It was cool. At least it was funky enough to be cool for me. And I'm particular about these things. So the styling on it, I like. A lot of people don't like the new styling on it. I think it's fine. I think it looks, on the outside, I think it looks great. On the inside, again, materials just not there. Driving it just was not fun. Again, the tires and the transmission, the lack of power from the naturally aspirated four-cylinder, just a combination just made it not a chore, but certainly nothing to look forward to. Like if this is your first vehicle and you're dropping 22, 23 grand on it, you might feel a little disappointed. So the operative word for this vehicle is disappointing. Disappointing. Especially because it's a vehicle I looked forward to getting into review when it came on the list, and I'm like, cool, Kia Soul, want to drive this. The experience was something quite different. And it's unfortunate because we need more funky vehicles in this market. Everything is looking the same and driving the same, and it's just vanilla. It's very milquetoast. And the Soul was something that actually used to have some. Like the name was appropriate, and now it's another milquetoast vehicle. Kia, time to go back to work. You did a good job with the Telluride. We'll be telling you more about that very soon. My God, does the Telluride earn every accolade it gets. Could you sprinkle a little of that magic into this, please?